Hey folks, my name is Mo Amir and this is VANCOLOUR, British Columbia's bona fide culture and politics TV talk show. Tonight, back by popular demand, Tamara Taggart will be here for a spot of tea and piping hot takes. But first, it's been over 20 years since the Vancouver Grizzlies moved to Memphis. Remember Big Country? Remember Reef? Remember Super Grizz? Well, why did the NBA experiment fail in Vancouver? And after a few Vancouver mayoral candidates promised to do everything they could to bring back the Grizzlies, what would it take for an NBA franchise to return to the city? I can't think of anyone better to explain what happened than our first guest tonight, a Vancouver Grizzlies superfan. She is a documentary filmmaker who has made 4 films about the ill-fated team. Her most recent film, The Grizzlie Truth, sets out to uncover what exactly went wrong. She is Kat Jayme. Kat, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me, Mo.
Absolutely, and congratulations on the success of The Grizzlie Truth.
Thank you.
So I gotta ask you, when we look at the Vancouver Grizzlies and their downfall, does this ultimately come down to bad decisions, bad timing, and bad luck?
I mean, in a nutshell, yes. It was just like everything bad that could go wrong for the Grizzlies, went wrong for the team. It was just a series of unfortunate events, unfortunately, for super fans like myself.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people actually point blame at the fans. And in the last couple seasons, we did see attendance start to wane a little bit. Maybe the city's interest waned a little bit. What do you think about blaming people like us? Because we were both fans when we were growing up of the Vancouver Grizzlies.
I mean, I think fans are one of the scapegoats of why the Grizzlies didn't work out in Vancouver. But I do think it's not true. Fan support, considering that we were one of the worst teams or the worst team at the time
maybe
the
the worst franchise in sports history. Yeah.
So considering we bounced around from owner to owner, right? And there was a threat that the team was going to move from, kind of very early on. Considering all these things, I think Vancouver's fans really stuck by their team, and we had good attendance, especially if you consider all these things that were happening, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I do think that Vancouver Grizzlies fans were loyal to the team, and they did support even in that last year.
Absolutely. Now, you did something that the Vancouver Grizzlies franchise was unable to do. You brought Steve Francis into the city of Vancouver. Congratulations, that's huge. I gotta ask you though, he is a very integral part of your film, The Grizzlie Truth. So what is it about this non-player who never actually worked for the organization, never played for the organization? He is a player, of course. What is it about him that is so integral to the story of the Vancouver Grizzlies?
He is maybe, one of the main villains of the story in the eyes of, super fans.
Definitely when I was growing up, yeah.
So I knew that he had to be part of the film in some way, shape, or form. And I knew it would be so much better if, we could talk about him and he not be in the film, but I thought it'd be way more powerful if he was actually, on screen, if he actually had a part in telling his story, and if we could actually understand where he was coming from. One of the goals of the film is to give closure to super fans.
Right.
And the only way to do that is to understand, what really happened. And the only way to do that is actually talk to people.
Did you get any sense that he would run it back, and maybe if he could do things differently, knowing what he knows now, that he might have played for Vancouver?
Possibly. I mean, he was very young at the time. Vancouver was to many NBA players at that time was just, no one really knew where Vancouver was.
Totally.
So I think when he came here, he kept saying, things like, I never got to actually experience the city. And so I do think that if he, maybe things were a bit different, or if he was, this was way later in time, he might have, had a different tune, but, things worked out for him. And so,
they definitely did.
So, and I'm happy
He's
that
sitting pretty.
Yeah. But, I'm very grateful that Steve took the time to chat with me, to share his story. And, from the response that we had when he came to Vancouver, the audience like gave him a standing ovation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was really great to have him back.
Cool. Now, in the last municipal election that we just had in the city of Vancouver, there were a few unsuccessful mayoral candidates who made this promise that they were going to do everything they can to bring back the Grizzlies to the city of Vancouver. Obviously, in the last 20 years, the city has changed so much. So what do you think it's going to take for an NBA franchise to come here? Because I know that Seattle wants their franchise back. I know Vegas wants a team.
Yeah.
So what's it going to take to bring one to Vancouver?
We need someone with big pockets. A team now costs, I think, about $3 billion.
Oh.
So it's a lot of money, but I do think it's like if you were to get a group of local owners to come together and work together, I think that's the way forward to do that.
I feel like Chip Wilson, formerly of Lululemon, the founder of Lululemon, he could increase his popularity if he brings the Grizzlies back.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Now, if I want to see the film and I missed it at the Vancouver Film Festival, where can I see it?
So we're just about to have our theatrical release. So we're playing in 9 select cities across Canada, which is really exciting. We're going to be back in BC, playing in Vancouver, Richmond, and Langley at Cineplex Theaters and at VIF. At Van City Theatre. And then in Toronto, we're making a really big splash December 10th. We're throwing a really big event before the screening.
Okay.
Steve Francis, we're flying Steve Francis.
He's coming back.
He's coming back to Toronto. And then Jimmy King, who is an original Raptors. He's part of the Fab Five.
Oh, cool.
So he will also be in attendance
awesome.
At the screening.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited for all of that, and congratulations on all your success in the film. It is a great watch and a great follow-up, and I think probably the end of your Vancouver Grizzlies journey, right, in terms of filmmaking.
It's a quadrilogy. That's what people are calling it.
A quartet of films.
Yes. I mean, if anyone still wants to, work with, help fund films to tell Grizzly stories, I'm all ears. But for now, I think I'm going to put the Grizzly stories to rest just for a moment at least.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kat. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Mo.
Absolutely. Folks, if you didn't catch it at the Vancouver Film Festival, don't worry. The Grizzlie Truth will be released in select theaters on December 9th, so be sure to look out for it. I promise you, it is an incredible watch. Of course, it is directed by our guest tonight, filmmaker and Vancouver Grizzlies superfan. She is, of course, Kat Jayme. Now, after some business, I'm going to put on a pot of tea because my friend, broadcasting legend Tamara Taggart, returns to the show, and we're going to talk about a recent report detailing just how bad Canadian women in journalism experience harassment. That's up next. I'm Mo Amir. This is VANCOLOUR.